Have you ever looked at your wallet and wondered, where did all my money disappear? Today, we're going to learn how to talk about money naturally in English.
And by the end of this episode, you'll know the everyday English people use when they discuss spending, saving, and sharing expenses with confidence.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Podcast, where learning English feels simple, practical, and enjoyable. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jack. If you've been following our challenge, welcome back. You've already come so far, and every day you practice is another step towards speaking English more naturally.
Reaching day 13 is something to be proud of. Building a new habit isn't always easy, but showing up every day is what helps you improve little by little.
I remember when I started learning photography, the first few days were exciting, but after a while, it became harder to stay consistent. That's when many people usually give up.
But you're still here, and that tells us you're serious about improving your English. We're really happy to have you learning with us.
And if this is your first episode, welcome. Here at Daily English Podcast, we practice real English through friendly conversations you'll actually hear in everyday life. Before we begin, please take a second to subscribe if you haven't already. It's completely free, and it helps us keep bringing you a brand new English lesson every day.
Thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get into today's topic, because it's something everyone deals with.
That's right. Today, we're talking about money, a topic that's part of everyday life, even if people don't always enjoy discussing it.
Money appears in conversations than you might think. Whether you're shopping, eating out, or planning a trip, it always seems to come up.
Imagine you're having dinner with friends, and someone asks, "Should we split the bill?" That's talking about money.
Or maybe a friend says, "Can I borrow some cash until tomorrow?" That's another everyday situation.
And when you're planning a vacation, someone usually asks, "How much should we spend?" Once again, money becomes part of the conversation.
So if you want to sound natural in English, it's important to feel comfortable talking about prices, budgets, and everyday spending.
That's exactly what we'll practice today, with simple conversations you can use in real life.
Here's how today's lesson works. First, listen carefully to our conversation and notice the words, expressions, and pronunciation.
Then comes the shadowing part. Repeat after us, copy our rhythm, and speak with confidence. The more you practice aloud, the faster your English will improve.
Don't worry about making mistakes. Every sentence you repeat helps build your speaking confidence.
All right, let's begin with our first conversation. This one is about everyday spending.
You know that moment when you check your bank account and wonder where all your money went?
I know that feeling a little too well. All right, let's start conversation one.
Hey, Jack, did you do anything fun this weekend?
Yeah, I went shopping with my sister, and I ended up spending much more money than I planned.
Really? What did you buy? I want to hear all about it.
Well, it all started with a simple plan. I told myself, I'm only going to look around today. No shopping, no spending.
That sounds like a good plan. So what changed?
I walked into one store, and somehow everything went wrong. I came out with 3 shirts, a pair of sneakers, and even a blender I didn't need.
A blender? Didn't you already buy one last year?
I did, but this one had a huge discount. It was 50% off, and I couldn't resist.
Or you could simply say, "No thanks, I already have one."
That's easy for you to say. You've always been careful with money. I see a sale, and suddenly all my self-control disappears.
That's exactly how stores want you to feel. Discounts often make people believe they're saving money, even when they're spending more than they planned.
So there's actually a reason for that?
Yes, many people call it a budget trap. You think you're making a smart choice, but your spending keeps growing.
That's exactly what happened to me. I walked straight into that budget trap without even noticing.
So, how much did you spend in total?
Don't laugh. I spent $180. I only had $40 with me, so I paid the rest with my credit card.
Wow, that's quite a shopping trip. Tell me, do you keep a monthly budget?
Sort of. I always plan for rent, bills, and groceries. But when it comes to shopping or eating out, I usually just spend whatever feels right.
Spending first and hoping everything works out isn't the best money plan.
I know. My mom tells me the same thing all the time. She always says, "Jack, you need to save more money."
And what do you tell her?
I tell her I'm collecting happy memories from my shopping trips instead. She never laughs at that answer.
I have to admit, that was a little funny.
All right, everyone. Let's review some useful phrases from this conversation. Listen first, then repeat after me with the same rhythm and pronunciation. I spent way too much money. I wasn't planning to buy anything. It was on sale. I fell into a budget trap. I keep track of my monthly spending. I just spent and hoped for the best.
Great job! Now repeat these sentences after me. You're really good with money. Do you have a monthly budget? You should save more money. I paid the rest with my credit card. How much did you spend altogether?
Excellent! These are common expressions you'll hear in everyday conversations about money.
If they feel a little difficult now, don't worry. Keep repeating them, and they'll start to sound natural very quickly.
Now, let's move on to our second conversation. This one is about something many people struggle with: saving money.
We all want to save, but somehow our money seems to disappear before the month ends.
I'm sure many of our listeners know that feeling.
In this conversation, two friends are talking about their savings goals. Let's begin.
Sarah, can I ask you something?
Of course. What would you like to know?
Do you actually have money saved in your bank account? I try to save every month, but somehow I always end up spending it.
Yes, I do have some savings now. But honestly, it wasn't always like that. It took me a long time to build this habit.
Really? You always seem so organized when it comes to money.
Thanks, but I wasn't always careful. I used to spend almost everything I earned.
So what helped you change?
I read a book about personal finance, and one simple idea completely changed the way I manage my money.
Really? So what does that idea actually mean?
It's simple. When you receive your paycheck, move a small amount into your savings before you pay bills or buy anything. You save for yourself first.
So instead of saving whatever is left at the end of the month, I save first and spend what's left.
Exactly. And don't worry about the amount. Even if you start with just $10 a month, you're building a healthy habit.
That actually sounds easy to follow. I could choose a fixed amount, maybe $50 every month, and transfer it as soon as I get paid.
That's a great plan. Many banks even let you set up automatic transfers, so the money goes into savings without any extra effort.
I like that idea. If I don't see the money, I'm less likely to spend it.
Exactly. That's why people say, out of sight, out of mind. It really works when you're trying to save.
And after a few months, those small amounts can grow into something much bigger.
That's right. Saving isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent.
You've convinced me. Starting next month, I'm going to pay myself first.
I love hearing that. Every small step today helps your future self tomorrow.
All right, everyone. Time for another shadowing session. Listen carefully, then repeat after me. Do you have any savings? It took me a long time to build this habit. I used to spend everything I earned. Pay yourself first. Choose a fixed amount. Out of sight, out of mind. I'm taking care of my future self.
Excellent! Now let's practice a few longer sentences together. When you get your paycheck, save first. The amount isn't important at the beginning. Good habits make the biggest difference. You'll be surprised how much you can save. The money goes straight into my savings account automatically.
Fantastic! The more you repeat these phrases, the more natural they'll sound in your everyday conversations.
We hope you're speaking along with us, because that's the fastest way to build confidence.
I'm really enjoying today's lesson. I think these conversations are useful for everyone.
I agree. Money is something we all talk about, so these expressions are worth practicing.
Now let's move on to our third conversation. And this one can feel a little uncomfortable.
That's true. Today we're talking about borrowing money from a friend and lending money to someone you trust.
It isn't always an easy conversation because money and friendships can sometimes create awkward situations.
That's why it's important to learn polite and honest English for these moments. All right, let's begin conversation 3.
Sarah, I feel a little embarrassed to ask, but I'm having a difficult month. Is there any chance you could lend me some money until I get paid next Friday?
Of course. Are you okay? What happened?
My car suddenly needed repairs, and the bill was much higher than I expected. It used most of the money in my account.
I'm sorry to hear that. Unexpected expenses can be really stressful.
I only need about $80 for groceries and transportation until payday. I'll pay you back as soon as I receive my paycheck.
That's not a problem. I'm happy to help. I know you'll return it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your kindness, and I'll send the money back first thing on Friday morning.
There's no need to give me anything extra. Just repay the $80 when you can.
You're a great friend. I won't forget this.
I'm glad I could help. But after this, it might be a good idea to start building an emergency fund.
I've heard people mention that before, but I'm not exactly sure what it is.
It's very simple. You keep some money in a separate savings account and only use it for real emergencies, like car repairs or medical bills.
So it's not money for shopping or eating out?
Exactly. It's only for unexpected situations. Many experts suggest saving enough to cover about 3 months of your basic living expenses.
3 months? That sounds like a big goal.
It does, but you don't have to reach it overnight. Start with a simple goal, maybe $500, and build from there, little by little.
I like that. A small goal feels much easier. And once I reach it, I'll have a little safety net.
Exactly. Every dollar you save brings you one step closer to feeling more secure.
I think I can do that.
I know you can.
All right, everyone. This conversation included some very useful expressions for asking for help politely. Listen carefully and repeat after me. I hate to ask this, but I'm in a difficult situation. Could you lend me some money? Just until I get paid. I promise I'll pay you back. I really appreciate your help. Unexpected expenses happen to everyone.
Great job. Now let's practice a few more useful money expressions. An emergency fund. A financial safety net. 3 months of basic expenses. A separate savings account. Start with a small goal. It grows over time.
Excellent. These are practical phrases you'll hear in many everyday conversations.
Did you notice something important? When Jack asked to borrow money, he sounded polite, thankful, and respectful.
That's because your tone matters. Saying things like, I hate to ask, or I really appreciate it, makes your request sound kind and considerate.
In English, being polite is often just as important as the words you choose.
Before we finish, let's do one final bonus round with some common money vocabulary.
Sounds good. I'll say the word, and Jack will use it in a sentence. Budget.
I made a budget this month, so I know where my money is going.
Debt.
I'm working hard to pay off my credit card debt.
Invest.
I want to invest some money for the future.
Afford.
I'd love to buy that jacket, but I can't afford it right now.
Worth it.
The cooking class was expensive, but it was completely worth it because I learned a lot.
That's definitely a better investment than buying another kitchen appliance you didn't need.
Hey, I use that appliance every day now, so I have no regrets.
We'll let our listeners decide that.
Fair enough.
Last word, broke.
I was broke at the end of last month because I didn't follow my budget.
That's a very common informal word. It simply means you have very little or no money. You'll often hear people say, I'm broke until payday, or I'm broke this week. Now, we're almost at the end of today's episode, so let's quickly review what we learned.
Today, we practiced English for talking about money in 3 real-life situations.
First, we talked about everyday spending and how sales can sometimes lead to unnecessary shopping.
Then, we learned about saving money, building good habits, and paying yourself first.
Finally, we practiced polite English for borrowing and lending money between friends.
Along the way, we used useful phrases like, I spent too much, pay yourself first, out of sight, out of mind, emergency fund, and I'm in a difficult situation.
We also talked about smart money habits, like making a budget, saving regularly, and preparing for unexpected expenses.
So today's lesson wasn't just about English. Hopefully it gave you a few helpful money tips as well.
Now it's time for your homework.
We'd love you to write 3 English sentences about money in the comments below.
You could write about something you want to save for, a recent purchase, or your own savings goal.
Don't worry if your English isn't perfect. The important thing is that you practice.
We really enjoy reading your comments, and it's wonderful to see learners encouraging each other.
So don't be shy. Every sentence you write helps you become a more confident English speaker.
Before tomorrow's lesson, go back and practice today's shadowing exercises 2 or 3 more times.
The first time you listen, the second time you repeat, and the third time everything starts to feel natural.
That's how confidence grows, through regular practice, not perfection.
You've already completed day 13, and that's an amazing achievement.
Keep going, because you're getting closer to your English-speaking goal every single day.
If you enjoyed today's lesson, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend who is learning English.
And if you haven't subscribed to Daily English Podcast yet, make sure you do so you never miss a new episode.
We'll be back tomorrow with day 14 of our challenge.
Until then, take care, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself.
Bye, everyone.
Keep learning, keep speaking, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.